Proteksyon para sa mga manggagawa. Isa po ito sa mga tinalakay ni Prime Minister Justin Trudeau sa ginawang one-on-one interview sa OMNI News Filipino. Ang panayam sa Prime Minister, hatid ni Mariton Pacheco.
First thing I just want to do, though, is congratulate you on the new program, the new channel.
Sa isang one-on-one interview, sinagot ni Prime Minister Justin Trudeau ang mga isyong hinaharap ng maraming Pilipino ngayon sa gitna ng pandemya. Kabilang dito ang proteksyon sa mga manggagawa, karamihan sa kanila nasa essential services. Alam ng gobyerno, nasa alanganin ng marami sa mga Filipino workers na tuloy ang serbisyo kahit kulang sa sahod at proteksyon.
This pandemic has shown that in many cases, that people who are most vulnerable in society are being cared by other people who are very vulnerable in society. And speaking of economic vulnerability and status vulnerability, and one of the things one of the many things this pandemic has taught us is to see the gaps and the cracks in our system that have existed for a long time that need to be filled. Yes, because of this pandemic is hitting everybody, particularly those people, very hard, but we have to improve our system. We have to make it fairer. We have to make sure that everyone is supported. We need to make sure that people are paid properly for the hard and sometimes dangerous work that they do. And that is certainly something that we're busy working with the provinces on.
Sinagot rin ni Trudeau ang tulong para sa mga kababayang out of status ngayon o ang mga nawala ng papel matapos maipit sa immigration dala ng pandemya.
You highlight very real concerns around people who are in danger on their status or facing greater complications because of COVID limitations, because of slowdowns around immigration. We know that, and that's why we've been working, and our Immigration Minister, Marco Mendicino, has been working directly on programs and supports to help people. I mean, the whole thing is that COVID has impacted everyone in ways that are complicated and are not their fault. The fact that someone is impacted by COVID, they shouldn't have to be blamed for missing a deadline or not being able to cover their work. And that's the principle that we're going with. We want to make sure that people are supported, that people are given the opportunities to continue contributing to their community, contributing to the country, and that's what we're going to stay focused on.
To help them overcome the uncertainty on top of, having to make ends meet and staying safe during this pandemic, is there a chance of government offering some sort of a general amnesty for them?
Well, Canada is a country that understands how important immigration is, not just to be open and generous, but because that helps our economic growth. It strengthens our communities to have people come here and build lives and build futures through hard work. It has always been the case, and we want to continue that. The challenge with having had the borders closed for many, many months now is that we're not bringing in as many immigrants as we normally would. So one of the things we are looking at, as we did in the situation for healthcare workers in Quebec, to say, are there ways where we can accelerate pathways to permanent residency? And that's certainly something we're looking at, because if we're not bringing people in as much from outside, it's sort of normal to look at people here in the country and say, well, can we accelerate their processes? I'm not making any announcements about that, but just that's the reflections that our government is making, because we know how hard so many people have worked, regardless of what their status is.
Habang pinapag-aralan kung paano mapapabuti ang proseso sa immigration, tiniyak ng Prime Minister, nakikita ng Canada ang malaking kontribusyon ng komunidad.
The Filipino community in particular has contributed incredibly to the success of our country through this pandemic, whether it's on the front line of healthcare or whether it's in small businesses, whether it's in retail, whether it's working as caregivers. It has been really, really noticed how much everyone has contributed, and we want to make sure that we're supporting those people.
Tinatayang nasa mahigit 800,000 ang mga Pilipino sa Canada ngayon. Mariton Pacheco, OMNI News, Vancouver.